It says, up until this point, Aeneas has heard about Dido's tragic past from Venus and observed the building of her city. Now the queen herself enters. She is regal and impressive as she engages in the business of the state. Though Aeneas is transfixed by Dido's grandeur and success, Dido's impressive introduction will contrast with her tragic fall by the end of Book 4. Keep that under your hat. Ultimately, her career will be the antithesis of Aeneas's, largely because Jupiter, history, and fate are not on her side or that of her city of Carthage. The presence of Dido in Aeneas' story is anachronistic, since Carthage itself was founded nearly 400 years after the Trojan War.
So do they talk about Dido all the way down through Book 4?
Yeah. Well, it's like a flashback and then we flash forward. Because Book 2 is the story of the Trojan War. Let's see. It says, the exact development of the Dido-Aeneas affair leading up to the Aeneid remains unclear, but it seems that Virgil has exercised great originality in his adaptation of it. Virgil's Dido is a complex, intertextual figure. Again, the Odyssey is at play, but with many twists. Dido enters the scene much like Nausicaa in the Odyssey, Book 6, and offers to help Aeneas, much as Nausicaa had to Odysseus. But throughout the Carthaginian books, Dido also takes on characteristics of Alcinous and Arete, Nausicaa's parents, and includes echoes of Apollonius's Medea, herself modeled on Homer's Nausicaa. Much more generally, the entreaties to Dido, the entrance of Aeneas, and his interaction with Dido echo Book 7 of the Odyssey, where Odysseus entreats King Alcinous and Queen Arete. Virgil thus elevates Dido, the legend, to a central place in his epic, making the Carthaginian affair a major challenge for Aeneas, testing his resolve to follow his fate and his ability to control his passions. At the same time, Dido's story will raise important and difficult questions about the nature and morality of the gods, who incite a woman to violate solemn vows to her dead husband, only to bring about her own death as a result. Interesting, huh? Okay, so so this first little part is like Dido visiting the temple and like proceeding over the laws. Okay, so we have, okay, in this sentence, this goes with this, right? And then we got wit and tour. Okay, and it says, okay, so what had just happened before this is he looked on the temple walls. I forgot to mention that part. He looked on the walls of the temple and the doors of the temple and sees scenes from the Trojan War and his own people. So he knows that, like, his own people got shipwrecked there too. I don't think I mentioned that part. Okay, so do you remember when you see video in the passive, sometimes you translate it as to seem instead of to be seen? That's what's happening here. So we got while these things seem wonderful to Dardanian Aeneas. Okay, remember Dardanus was the father of the Trojans, right? So like making that connection to the Trojans, right? While he is stupefied and okay, this is a PPP and it's nominative describing Aeneas. So, having been, I said riveted. You can say fixed, like his eyes. He couldn't move his eyes. So having been fixed, that makes him sound like he's a dog that got neutered. So let's use riveted. I think that's probably why I used riveted. So, and having been riveted, is stuck in one gaze. Okay, so like I kind of think of this as like, this is Aeneas. Okay, it's Aeneas. Okay, his eye, like the cartoon eyes. They have like big eyes, and he couldn't. Right. That's kind of what I think about. Like his eyes were popping out. Okay, the queen, right, meaning Dido. Because then it tells us. Okay, Queen Dido. And then this is also a nominative describing Dido. Most beautiful in form. Marched to the temple. So this is an able to absolute, this last part. With a great train of youth following her.
Like a little train of young people following her.
Yes, a literal, not like, Thomas the Train, but like a line of people. We see qualies, right? And that makes us go like a simile. Okay, so we're going to be comparing Dido to Diana. Who is Diana?
Like
Yeah, the huntress. Yeah, the huntress goddess. Okay, so we got just as on the banks of Eurota. Okay, Eurota was a river in Sparta. Or through the ridges, like the mountain ridges, through the ridges of Cynthus. That was the mountain ridge that worshipped Diana. Okay, then we got our subject. Diana exercises her choruses, okay, which were like, right? Like followers that sang songs to her. Her peeps. Which okay, so we got which 1,000 Oreades. That's not right. 1,000 Oreas. Yeah, Oreads, mountain nymphs. Okay. Which 1,000 Oreades. How about Oreades? Having followed. Were thronging on this side and that. Or I think you can do it as hither and thither. Yes. Well, I don't know, because it says... Yeah. Here and there. I'm doing here and there. Thither. It's like we're reading Dr. Seuss. Okay, she, being Diana, brings... I guess it'd be bears. She bears a quiver. Right? She bears a quiver on her shoulder. Y'all know what a quiver is? Everybody watches Catching Fire? Yes? No?
Fert is the funniest word ever.
Fert.
Ferdinand.
Fert.
It's going to be Evian.
Okay, and... this is a present active participle drive. Okay, describing that. And following... She towers above all the goddesses. Okay, and then you got joy. Possesses the silent breast of Latona. What does that mean? Yes. Oh, Latona is Diana's mom. It says, Virgil focuses on Diana's happiness and grandeur. In addition, the Diana as a huntress simile connects Dido and the huntress Penthesilea and forms a companion. We don't care. It is an interesting example of how Dido transforms his sources to achieve multiple effects. Okay, such was Dido, right? She carried herself in such a way, I guess this is accusative, But this is like, I guess it'd be like, she happily was carrying herself in such a way. Then we have a present active participle. Pressing on, that takes the dative, her work through the middle. Oh, well, hold on. This says to put through the middle back with that other deal. So this says to make it, she happily was carrying herself in such a way through the middles. Okay, and then, like, make a break here. Pressing on her work and her future kingdoms. It says Dido is engaged in the very activities of city building that Aeneas aspires to. Okay? And you also got to think, happy, and then like all of book 4 we call her unhappy or unlucky. So, she was happy until Aeneas got involved. Boys mess everything up. True.
This is the third class where we talked about guys being bad today.
I didn't say, I just said they messed everything
bad,
up.
But like talking about guys that kind of negative.
I'm just sad that Dido's not going to be on Valentine's Day. Second year in a row, Dido's not dying on Valentine's Day. It makes me kind of sad. That's okay. I'll suck it up.
We can change it.
Yeah, we'll just save that part.
Save that part. We got to get all the way through book, That's in book 4. That's at the end of book 4. We're not even to book 2 yet.
Should we be at book 4?
I'm just saying. We're going to make it. Okay. Okay, so we got then at the doors of the goddess. In the middle dome of the temple. Having been enclosed in arms, or having been enclosed by arms, like she's sitting on her throne, right? Here's her little throne. And then she's got, the Foscaes or something like that around her. Okay. And having been supported highly, that's an adverb, on her throne, she sat down. Okay, so she was giving I know both of these as laws. I think it says
I think here it'll be like justice.
yeah, it says use is often used as the whole body of the law, whereas lex is a single definite law, but here there is no distinction. Well, we'll say justice and laws. So she was giving justice and laws to men and was making equal the labor of the work. That's something's going to get somebody. I call that a sucker snare. Okay, because see, you think UM and EM, you're going to translate it as work and labor. Okay, but you need not to remember that it's because opus is opus operis, it's third. Okay, so it's the work of the labor. Okay, so she was making equal the work of the labor of the work in fair parts. So these are ablative. Or she was drawing by lot. You know what that means? It's like picking a name out of a hat. Okay. When suddenly Aeneas sees okay, and then I think it's an indirect statement that Antheus, Sergestus, and brave Cloanthus approaching in a large throng. Remember, he was looking for him back in the shipwreck, right? Yep. Okay. And others of the Trojans whom black whirlwind had scattered on the sea and had driven far away to other shores.